This is chord help number 3, part 1. Now, in the last couple of chord help videos, I talked about physical technique, getting your hands on the instrument and figuring out methods for moving smoothly from chord to chord. So in this series, I'm going to go through several different ideas to help you understand what it is you're playing. And so today we're going to talk about major, minor, augmented, and diminished chords. And the reason for that is they are the foundational chords from which everything else relates back to. So let's first take a look at the chord symbols. This is what a major chord symbol looks like. It's just the letter name. So I'm sure you're familiar with that. You see the G, you know that's G major. Now in music theory, that chord is made up of just 3 notes. We have the root, which is the name of the chord, so G. Then to figure out what our next note is, we have to go up 3 notes. So G is number 1, A is 2, so we don't need that, and B is 3. So B is the third of that chord, or the third note. And so that B is right next to it on the next string. So we have G, B, and then we have to go up another third. And of course, since we're using G, go to, B is the third, C is the fourth, and D is the 5th, or that 4th string open. All right, so if we take the G, the B, and the D, and play those together, we have your basic G chord. Now on the guitar, we have 6 strings. And we have an opportunity to fill out that chord with more of the same notes. So we have G, B, D, G, B, G. Now sometimes you'll see it played with the 2nd string covered as well. And that adds a D into it, taking out the B that you played before. So basically, the major chord consists of 3 notes, each a third apart. Now, one thing you want to know about is those thirds aren't equal. The first third is 2 whole steps, known as a major third. The second third, which starts on B, C, D, you can see that is not 2 whole steps. That's a step and a half. That, of course, is called a minor third. So that's a lower sounding interval. When you blend a major third with a minor third, you get a major chord every single time. Okay, so speaking of minor, let's get into minor chords. Now the symbol for minor is either the letter M after the chord name, or sometimes you'll see it presented as a minus sign. That's not as common, but it is out there. All right, so what is minor? Minor is basically the opposite of major. Instead of having that major third as the first interval, we have a minor third, meaning it's a step and a half. So that's the note E flat. So if we start on C, go to D, E flat is our minor third. So we have C, E flat, and then from E flat, we have to go up a third. And this time we have to go up a major third. So it's E flat, F, G. So the F, we don't need that. We need the G, because that's 3 away. So we have C, E flat, G, giving us a C minor triad. It's called a triad because it's 3 notes, basically. So we have major, which is major third plus minor third. We have minor, which is a minor third plus a major third. Those are the 2 most foundational chords you'll have. So a lot of the other chords are based on those 2 ideas. However, there are 2 more that we need to talk about. Let's say you have 2 minor thirds, a minor third with a minor third, right? It's theoretically possible, so let's see what that is. We have C is where we're starting from. We're going to the E flat. Now, if we need to go to another minor third, that's a step and a half. And that, of course, is the note G flat. So we have C, E flat, and then G flat. to play those together, I have to change position. And the sound of that is called diminished. And diminished chords are often shown with either DIM after the chord name or this little circle thing here. The circle tells you it's diminished. All right, we have one more to do, and that is the augmented chord. So this one is major third plus major third. And the sound of it, I really like the sound of these chords. So we have, again, I'm going to start with C this time instead of G. We have the C note. We know the major third from there is E. And then a major third from E is G sharp. Put those together, and we have an augmented chord. Now, the augmented chord, interestingly enough, isn't diatonic to any major key. So you don't have a naturally occurring augmented chord. Those are altered notes. They sound great. They kind of take you outside the key a little bit, and they add a little spice to your chord playing. In part 2, we're going to take these foundational chords and add sevenths to them. And so we'll talk about what that is and how that affects the sound in the next chord help video. So make sure you come back for that, and I'll see you there.